Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Ask the Experts. Today is February 3rd, 2021. Time is just flying already. I promise y'all we were just here. And so now we're back. It is so glad to see each and everyone joining us either on YouTube or if you're in the Zoom room with us. Thank you for pre-registering. Let's see, I have a little audio feedback. Let me take care of that. We know one thing about 2020 and 2021, we have all become media experts. I think when this is all over, we can all go apply for a job in Hollywood because we have learned how to maneuver through the digital world for Zoom, YouTube, Facebook. We're all just, we're all experts in our field. But today we are going to be talking about the area of tax preparation, tax tips, and Winning Women Wednesday. Yes, it's Winning Women Wednesday, but guys, don't go anywhere. You know, you can learn a lot from us. But we won't start that. I won't go there today. But we are so glad to have each of you. If you are able, you can share this. Go ahead and share it for us. This is going to help our foundation, the AK Legacy Foundation, and where we thrive on educating our communities through financial literacy, business development, and we also offer disaster recovery. And so this is going to be a great time today. I have two panelists that I'm super excited about. I'm going to introduce them in just a second, but I wanted to make sure that we got everything taken care of and everyone can hear me pretty good and we should be ready to rock and roll. All right, so this is Tax Tips and Winning Wednesday. Let's go ahead and get started. This program is being sponsored by the AK Legacy Foundation, where, like I said earlier, we thrive on financial literacy, business development, and also disaster recovery. In our financial literacy portion, that could be youth, men, women, young, old, no matter the age, that is open for anyone that needs financial literacy in any area from investment to what to ask when filling out for a bank account. You just never know where people are, and we are not. We are so glad to receive anyone that wants to learn because I believe an educated decision is a better decision. In our area of business development, no matter the business owner, if you're an entrepreneur already up and running or you considering starting a business, we are here to serve you. And within that, we also have an organization called Women in Business, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. Since this is Winning Women Wednesday. We have this maybe 2 or 3 times a year where we bring on a panelist just to highlight women that are having successes in their business. And so you are in the right place at the right time. Disaster recovery, I tell everybody disaster is not just a flood, fire, or a volcano erupting. A disaster could be someone recently divorced, someone that is currently homeless, anything that interrupts a good quality of life that would cause a disaster. People being hungry, especially during this time. And on next month, I will be able to, we're going to highlight a program that I want to tell you guys about where I have in my business partnered with an organization, a business where we help feed homeless. So make sure you tune in on next month. We're going to discuss that where we're putting our stamp in the community to end hunger. So that's where we are with that. So let's go ahead. I want to introduce both of my panelists, and then we will get right into the questions. If you guys been watching for a period of time, you know how we do it. We try to get straight to it, but it's always good to kind of break the ice. One of our panelists is going to be Catherine Nicole Thompson. I've been knowing her for quite some time. I'm going to even go back to when she was little, but we're not even going to discuss that because then I have to tell my age. But Catherine has always been a diva in her own right. She is a CEO, an entrepreneur. She's a mom of two, a tax professional, a realtor. She owns a spa, and let me tell you, that place is so beautiful and relaxing. It's just the tranquility of it. So I'll let her tell you more about it. She's a salon owner. She is an educator and a stylist. And so we will be looking forward to talking to Nicole, getting some tips from her on how she managed it all and some, getting some great information. Our next panelist is going to be Miss Andrea Carter. I had the pleasure of meeting her around 2018, I believe it is. We were both in a program through the Urban League, and it's just been love ever since. I enjoy, you see that beautiful smile she has? She just walks in the room, everybody just smile. I don't know, it's just like she has happiness on her back or something, you know. So I love her personality. She's always speaking positive, and she's thriving to make a change in her community, not just in her own business, but through the businesses of others. She is definitely blazing trails. She is a CEO, an entrepreneur, a tax professional, a restaurant owner, which I have to admit, I have not been there yet, but y'all, I be looking the phone when she posts those pictures. You know, the pandemic just didn't do me right. I have to get over there and try this food. She's into investment. She's an educator. She's a wife. She's a mother. And a whole host of other things. Both of these ladies, they left off some things, but that's okay. We're going to let them make it. And so before we start our tax tips and business portion, I always do mystery questions. You guys know, and then my panelists have no idea what the mystery questions are, so don't y'all click out and run out on me now. It's too late. You're here. And I know I get this all the time. Well, what's going to be the question? I can't tell you. That's why it's called a mystery question. All right. So we're gonna start with Sandrika, and then we'll go with Catherine. So Sandrika, I have some mystery cards, number 1 through 5. You pick a number between 1 and 5.
Not 4.
4. All right. Oh wow, this is going to be interesting since you're such a happy person. How do you deal with unhappy clients?
How do I deal with unhappy clients? First, I usually try to find out what the problem is or why they're unhappy. Then I always apologize. I've learned that, like, in my experience of working in the real world before I became an entrepreneur, that you always apologize, listen to the client, and then try to resolve the situation. So normally when I do that, they're remaining my client, they understand the situation, they look at it from a different perspective, and they turn into a happy client.
Of course, they can't help but to turn into a happy client. I told y'all she is Miss Happy. I love that. And that is so good. Let me tell you all, a smile will carry you a long way. It's just a sign of hope. And then how can somebody just be, you know, it's just your aurora, your personality. And so I always tell people, being content and happy with yourself first really plays a big part. You really need to make sure that you flip the switch. And a lot of times we deal with personal things, and then when we come into our place of business, you can't carry that in there. You have to flip the switch, and it's game time. You can deal with those matters when the day is over. And so I love that. Thank you for that advice, Andrea. So now we are going to, I think I got Catherine back in. Yes, let me unmute her. All right. All right, let me unmute her. All right. Okay, so I think I have you on here twice. Catherine, can you hear me? I think I have make sure I get the right one. You know, like I said, when we have when we're in technology world, we learn as we go. This was not my field, but it is now. Like I said, I believe I'm an expert in this in this media game. So Catherine, are you there? Okay, I think she's having a little technical difficulty. So while we're waiting on Catherine, I'm going to answer one of the mystery questions, and then that'll give Catherine a little time to get her audio on and up and running. All right, so I'm going to take, oh, Catherine, there you are. All right, you ready for us? Yeah. Okay, I think I can hear you now. There we go. Okay, if you have on more than one device, you got to turn one of them, the volume off all the way on one of them.
Let's see.
All right. Y'all, she's looking pretty as always. Let me tell y'all, I'm talking about if you're trying to get your eyelashes and your eyebrows together, trying to get the game on. If Valentine's Day coming up, you know, you got to be looking good for your significant other. And so Catherine can definitely take care of that. I saw her pictures of the eyebrows. I was like, man, I'm going to pluck everybody's eyebrows out. That is definitely not my, I mean, it's a little bitty, and the eyelashes are even smaller. I'm like, man, how do y'all do it? I have to put my glasses on, get a magnifying glass. I'm like, you know what, just forget it. And so we rely on our beauticians. I know when the pandemic first started, I was like, man, salon workers should be essential. They should be essential. I don't know. All right, Catherine, can you hear us? Are you with us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, great.
All right, so we're starting off with our mystery questions. We always like to kind of break the ice, let everybody kind of know a little bit about who we are. So I need you to pick a number between 1 and 5, and Sandrika already took number 4. So pick a number between 1 and 5.
I'll take number 3.
Okay, cool. This is great. Question number 3 is best business advice you've ever received.
Ooh, best business advice. I would say make everything legal and legit, and it takes you further. So many times in business, we started off as a hustle, and you can't really see any benefits to business until you make everything legit. You get your EIN, you get your business formation, get everything legalized, everything in order. And that way, when it's just as a time as this is during the pandemic, you're able to reap the benefits of your business because everything is in alignment. A lot of people were unable to get funding to keep their business in this season because it was a hustle for so long. And I can confirm to that because for so long I've done hair, but everybody has done hair in the kitchen for so long. And it was not until that I really just legitimized my business that I was able to reap the benefits that's in funding. And that's just for an all-time high in your business. You need everything to be legal for the government and anyone to take you serious.
That is so true. Best advice ever. Get legit. I can concur. I teach a class now called "Are You Legit?" And I'm telling you, you should see. And some of the people that take the class, I thought you were already legit. You didn't even have an EIN. And to kind of piggyback off what you said, I had a client one time, and I had been doing her taxes like 2 or 3 years. And so one year I said, let's go ahead and start filing your business. And she had a salon. I'm talking about in a main city, front street, doors open, operating fully. She had never ever registered, even with the Secretary of State. And I was surprised. I was like, she said she went and got a cosmetology license and she thought that was all she needed. So that just kind of further motivated me, just like what Catherine said. Sometimes we just don't know, or we just don't get around to it, don't think it's that important. And I explained to her, if they were to walk in here, you would lose everything that you've worked so hard for. So exactly, just what Catherine said, get your business legit, get your insurance, get yourself protected. It may seem like a lot at first, but trust me, it will carry you so much further. Like you said, once you got legit, everything just started flourishing. The floodgates are open for you, but it's hard to do that when you're kind of on the radar. Y'all go ahead and get registered. It's going to be okay because Catherine and Sandrika and we are here to help you guys through that process. And so thank you, ladies, for participating. Oh, let me answer one of them. Okay, let's see. Pick a number for me, Sandrika. Oh, we got 1, 2, and 5. Oh, Lord.
I'll do number 1.
Yay! Okay, cool. It says, how did you pivot your business in 2020 to survive? And these questions came in from some of our registered guests. So if at any time in the future you want to ask a question, you can put it in the chat now here on live, or you can email us for the next section. So yes, so how did my business pivot during 2020? I tell you, 2020 was a challenging year for all of us. And so our hearts and prayers go out to anyone that had a loved one to transition. If you lost your business, your finances, your job, you had a health challenge, you contracted COVID, whatever the case may be, our hearts and prayers are with you all. One of the things I was able to do was pivot. And I give God all the credit for it. And organizations like the Urban Lead and being around other business owners like Sandrika and Dr. Bishop, Catherine, just being around positive people that were doing things. I saw we were doing test and trial, like, hey, let's try this. And then we finally were able to maneuver through. And so one of the things I did in my business was I went total virtual. I have been using Zoom for a while for my out-of-state client. And so to me, it's kind of a blessing. There's always a blessing in it. I was able to move more more clientele online. I was able to reach more people. So I think for me, the way that my business pivoted was embracing technology. I know a lot of people just like, I don't want to have nothing to do with it, but I'm telling you, you're going to thrive going forward. You get all the technology training that you can get. Do some practice runs, call your girlfriend up, say, hey, hop on this Zoom with me. How does it look? Is this my good side? You know, put in the practice, because now we're being almost forced to embrace it. And I know a lot of times people are concerned about the personal element, but I promise you, it is much easier than we imagine that it is. So for me, I think my pivot point was just fully embracing technology, asking questions. Look, y'all know we're the master problem solvers, but sometimes we just have to ask, reach out and ask. So I think that's what did it for me, pivoting online. All right, so I thank my panelists for being so brave. I never participate in mystery questions, but I said, since it's Winning Women Wednesday, I'll participate on today. All right, let me check the chat, see if we have any questions thus far, and we'll get rocking and rolling. And I thank you all for tuning in. All right, ladies, showtime. All right, let's talk about these taxes. The shenanigans have begun. So we may not even get a chance to talk about all these different topics. It's a lot, but we're just gonna have a few minutes of conversation, and then we'll transition into the next part. But on the screen, you see here that we have the stimulus. The e-file date has been pushed to February 12th. I've been doing taxes 22 years, and this is the latest it has ever started. So this will be the most interesting tax season thus far, and I'm sure my panelists can agree. Understanding the PATH Act, nobody likes it. That's about the best understanding that we have about it. Nobody likes it, but we're going to talk about it. And the benefits of it, there is a good side to it. We have self-employed tax for small business owners, micro small business owners, those that file Schedule C's on their tax return. We're going to talk about the PPP, the EIDL, refunds, everybody's favorite topic, and we're going to talk about audit assistance. Now, we may not get through everything. I will provide at the end, each one of these ladies, I'll provide their contact information as well as mine, and you can reach out to us. We're able to serve you across the U.S. So those of you that are tuning in from Florida and Texas, Washington, D.C., I don't want to get into name calling because they're like, you didn't shout my state out. Okay, so the entire U.S., we can serve you, whether that's a telephone conference or a virtual meeting. Reach out to us. We all have partners in various states, so I'm sure that we can serve you well. We thank you in advance for giving us an opportunity to serve you, and thank you for heeding our advice. I always like to give this disclaimer before you make a major life change. Please consult your tax professional or your financial advisor for your situation. So we are on here giving our advice and our expertise according to our experiences and our interactions with our clients. We're accepting new clients. I'm sure I speak for these ladies as well, but we do tell you, if you're going to take our advice on today, make sure that you consult with your tax professional and your financial advisor first. And pray about it if you need to. You know, in the church, they tell you, pray about it. So pray about it too. All right, so ladies, let's talk about the stimulus. Let's just dive right into this conversation. Sandrika, we'll start with you. Tell us what your spin. How is it working out with the stimulus and your client?
Well, with the stimulus, we're advising our clients that we can, if they have not received their stimulus, that we can add it to their tax return for 2020. We're also advising them to file their 2018 and 2019 taxes so that there are no interruptions on receiving their stimulus packages. We are advising them to do direct deposit as well, so they don't have any delays in receiving their stimulus checks as well. A lot of people said that they received the first one, not the second one, or they had a baby and they're hearing all these different things or reading stuff on Instagram, Facebook. But we send out daily emails as far as taxes, with keeping up with the IRS, keeping up with what's going on, all the different changes and updates that's coming up. We send out daily emails. We have our 1-800 line that they can call and ask questions, whether they're our clients or not. We also have people on staff that are available to answer questions as well regarding stimulus, unemployment, everything that's changed. The date being pushed back from January 25th to February 12th, like you just said. So yeah, it's a lot of different changes and a lot of different tax situations due to COVID. But a lot of people did work all year and did receive their stimulus. So it's only a few that are uneducated about how they receive their stimulus or who receives a stimulus and why they didn't, those kind of questions.
All right, Catherine, what's been your experience with your clients? Are they feeling any frustration or is everything going smooth? Oh, wait. Yeah, let me unmute you. All right. My apologies. There we go.
Yeah, I am the worst with this Zoom.
That's
I just
okay.
have to admit it.
We got you. Look, we're gonna do some. This is great. This is a safe place to practice. Look, no judgment zone. This is fun for us. Go ahead. You got it.
I am the worst. The experience has been pretty much okay. There's a lot of things I will tell people to make sure you receive all your documents. If you have received unemployment, make sure that you have everything before you file. We don't want to miss anything during this tax season, anything to get a red flag. Sean, can you hear me?
Yep, he's fine.
Okay. A red flag shown. A lot of self-employed. I deal mostly with self-employed. That's how I started business. I'm fresh into the tax business, but I started because I got tired of trying to figure out my own tax status. You want to be able to keep up with all your paperwork, all your documents, make sure that you have enough to cover you, so that if anything comes up, even in stimulus, unemployment, you want to cover yourself. A lot of people did not take out taxes for unemployment, and they are going to tax you on the back end. So don't be surprised.
Right.
If you did not get those taxes taken out, no surprises. But pretty much it has been going smoothly. It's kind of slow, waiting on everyone to get their 1099s and all documents in. So hopefully we're looking forward to a great tax season though.
All right. So one of the things I heard you mention was I heard Sandrika mention the February 12th pushback. Look, let me tell you, it was like, oh no. And so I hope in this season, a lot of our community, they learn that don't count on the government. Now we're gonna kind of talk about, self-employed, having your own way. We're gonna talk about that in our business development. But for us as tax professionals, I think this was something that was in our favor because now they hear us. We've been saying it, don't spend the refund before you get it. And I think now they hear us. February 12th does make a difference. It affects us all because we don't get paid until they get paid unless we have clients that pay up front. So for the bulk of it, we're feeling it. We're feeling it too. So we're right here with our clients, and we just trusting that you guys be patient. Understand that we're all learning. The COVID affected everybody from the IRS, everywhere. So they're dealing with the same thing as well. Catherine mentioned self-employed, and so that is so. We're going to talk about that a little bit too. That make sure that you have your paperwork in order. Like you said, it came out of the frustration of understanding her very own process. And so a lot of times we try to educate, we do our best in educating our business owners. Look, these are the things that you need to get this. And a lot of times they want the end result, not knowing that there's a process, there's some paperwork that you have to go through to get it. The government, it does really well at helping us, but we have to give them what they can do, give them what they need to help us. And so understanding some of the basics, I know there's no way that we could talk about everything with taxes. That's why we're going to make sure that you get our contact information where you can schedule a consultation. I do offer a no-cost initial consultation, like a 15-minute, to kind of just see where you are, if I'm a good fit for you and vice versa. And I'm sure these ladies, we're going to talk a little bit about what we offer and how we can assist you. So Sandrika, let's talk about the PAC. And I tell people it's a good thing. I don't like it either. I'm not a fan of it because the good got to suffer with the bad, but that's just how it is. And the PAC Act is basically the IRS way of making sure that those that claim earned income credit are actually entitled to claiming it. In years prior, and I'm sure that they can attest to this, we've had clients that come in and file who legitimately taking care of these kids, and then they can't because someone has already fraudulently
claimed them, right?
Claimed them. So tell us a little bit about how this works and how it's going to affect us this year.
Okay, so the PATH Act basically is the tax preparer trying to help the IRS combat fraud. So once we ask you for the documents, supporting documents showing that you've taken care of this child, you meet the eligibility requirements of claiming head of household, whether that be a light bill or some type of bill showing that you're the head of this household. Also that your relationship to that child, that child lived with you for all 12 months of the year. You've provided support for this child for that 12 months of the year. They're basically trying to make sure that you're entitled to the money that we're putting on your tax return. So it holds the tax preparers accountable and it holds the taxpayers accountable. That's what the PATH Act was placed in place for, to combat fraud, make sure that the right person is being paid for these dependents.
All right, and I'll just slide this little announcement in there or advertisement. Hey, it's my show, I can do it. We have a product that we offer called ID Seal, where we help those who have been impacted by fraud, or it helps to prevent you from being affected by fraud. And so, fraud protection, you guys, the IRS knows that fraud is a big business, and unfortunately, during 2020, it skyrocketed. That if those people, those perpetrators in those fields have really gained, I think it was like a 300% increase in fraud. So it behooves you to get some type of ID theft protection. And like I said, Martin Business Solution, we do have that product, but there are many out there. But we really, it's so common. This has been something we've always had problems with in tax preparation. It's just, someone asked a question. Okay, so
how old can a child be?
Yeah. So tax preparation has always had this issue of fraud, but now the IRS is encouraging everyone to start getting some type of ID theft protection. Eventually, this is going to be as common as car insurance. So if you guys are not protected, you need to get protected, because it'll help you during these times when you get ready to file your taxes. Somebody's already claimed your dependent, and now you have to deal with the fallout of it. So Catherine, give us some tips on what documents, as small business owners, as self-employed, what are some of the documents that we need to have to get our taxes prepared?
One thing that I highly advise, a lot of people don't want to pay, but QuickBooks Self-Employed helps keep you organized all year long. It go ahead, it separates, it itemizes everything you need. That way, every transaction you have, you can go through at that point and separate. That way, at the end of the year, when you come to your tax preparer, everything is pretty much hands-on. You know, you don't have to explain, because you have your debit cards, you have your check payments, you have everything there. It kind of it's like it's your backbone. You know, it helps you to really stay organized. What is $16.99 a month when, honey, you could pay $3,000 back? $16.99 a month. Help yourself out. You know, you have to invest in yourself. I know myself, I was so unorganized. I still need an assistant at this point, but QuickBooks, I swipe that debit card. I swipe. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. And also it helps, it tracks your mileage. It helps with your meal expenses. You do not have to keep all those receipts. You do not. QuickBooks, it really organizes, and even then you can split those expenses, you know, have business, has personal. It has really helped me. I don't know who is that organized. Maybe you are that organized, but for me, QuickBooks has really helped me over the years.
Speaking of QuickBooks, that is one of my go-to for my small business clients. I'm like, look, just get it, okay? I'm a QuickBooks Pro advisor, so I was like, oh, she's speaking about my company. You know, I love it. I love QuickBooks. It's really easy to use. There are a lot of companies out there that offer a lot, but we can only speak to what we're using. So just like Catherine, I use QuickBooks. You know, you need something, and quit thinking that you're gonna remember everything.
Yes.
And here's the favorite. I'll get to it later. Later never comes. Let me tell y'all. Later is like in some mystical place. Do it, track it while you go. It is time consuming sometimes. But if you have something like I said, when you're swiping using one account, we're going to talk a little bit about don't commingle your funds, have your business set aside from your personal, but do everything with your debit card or your credit card for your business or your checking account. keep it organized. Just doing that alone will save you. Even if you didn't have QuickBooks, you could always pull your bank statement, bring that in and say, hey, this is everything that I've done. I will tell you, bringing in the bank statements and receipts may cost you a little bit more. So you may want to invest in QuickBooks. Because if you bring me a shoebox of receipts, we got to charge for that, because then now we got to, do that. But here's a saving tip. Pay the $15, $16, $20 a month. Get yourself organized. That is so good, Catherine. Thank you. So let's see what our next topic is, and we're gonna keep this rolling. The PPP and the idle. All right. So, before I get to that, I want to mention something else Catherine said. Investing in yourself now saves you for the fallout later. The IRS they're very slow sometimes, and they slow. Okay, we all know they slow, but they eventually get to it. They're the ones that have. Think about it. They may have a few thousand people working there, but there are millions of Americans that file taxes. So we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt. They are a little slow, but trust me, when they come back, they want paperwork. They want documentation. And so we're not telling you this to scare you or to put fear in you or to discourage you from starting a business or from maintaining your business. We're just trying to encourage you and to give you some tips on how to succeed at doing it. And so when it came time to get the PPP, which is the Paycheck Protection Program, or the EIDL, which is the Economic Injury Disaster Loan from the SBA, those types of funding was intended for people to just log in and get it. But a lot of people were not able to because they weren't registered. Like Catherine said, they didn't have the registration, or they didn't understand it. Like Sandrika said, they wasn't calling in, to the 1-800 number that she has that's readily available. And people were just trying to figure it out themselves and making errors. And then they did not have their paperwork in order. I know to get the PPP, you had to be in business by February 15th of 2020. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of people were just doing business. And then when the pandemic hit, they had no recourse because they weren't registered. It just was a big fallout. So ladies, tell us, how are you using this to your advantage now to encourage your clients that do file Schedule Cs under their social to go ahead and get incorporated? I think now this is a good time for us to pull them in. How is that conversation coming along about getting them registered and getting their business all the way legit? Are they putting in the work to invest in themselves? Catherine, you can go first.
Like anything, I can say, money is the motive now. For so long, you have fed these people, let's get this underway. Oh, no, I don't want to expose myself. But now that they see that this is what I need, I do need this, people are wanting to. And sometimes, sadly, they have just done it too late. And I hate that because I want everybody to win. But that's just like you said, before February 15th, if you did not have those businesses established, you're missing out on the money. You have to wait your round. The thing I do say about PPPs, I've done a little research on them, and I did not know, even myself personally, I listened to a lawyer out of Alabama, that anyone that has worked for you, contracted labor, they are considered your employee under that PPP. So you are filing as long as you have documents to cover yourself. Me, myself, I moved into a new business. So I had contractors, I had janitorial services. Those are your employees at some point. If you have documents to back that up, use that to your advantage. And this is a time to use that. The interest rates on that are the lowest you'll ever get in a business funding. So try to utilize that for your good. I know everyone says, oh, I'm scared of loans. Guess what? You're going to owe somebody at every point in your life. Until you die, you're still going to owe somebody. So why not owe the government? And some good money. Right. And that's another thing too. I will say, that they are not the EIDL was based off your credit score, but they are doing reconsiderations because just as she said, a video I listened to, well, if I had the credit score and I had the money, I wouldn't need the funding. So do your reconsiderations. Sometimes it's something simple as sending in your tax returns, sending in some type of document, and they will do a reconsideration, and you can release those funds for yourself.
Okay, good advice. Do the reconsideration. Don't just take no, find out, link up, say, hey, well, what can I do to get this correct? And just like you said, the government, this is the lowest interest rate that you'll get. It's like, I was like, how much interest? It just was pennies on a dollar.
1%.
Yeah, I was like, oh, do the math on that. Who cares, you know? And let me tell you, the government don't need our money, you know. So let's why not use it and utilize it? Have a business plan in place. If you had an extra $10,000, what would you do with it? You know,
Right.
have it, spend it on. I always tell people,
Yeah.
spend it on paper before you actually get it. Take and write it down. You know, write it before you. Have a plan for it so that you don't waste it. This is an opportunity for you to invest in your business, to improve your equipment, to do some marketing and advertisement, reach out to some new clientele, help a family in need, you know, sponsor a nonprofit. I could throw that in there too. You know, do something meaningful. Use this as a time to take the funds, put it where it's needed, and sponsoring a nonprofit would be a form of it would be a tax write-off for you through your business. But you really, and a lot of times we want to do things, but we don't have the money. You know, the money that we make as small business owners is usually already allocated to our business expenses and running our families and taking care of our personal things. So this extra the PPP or the idle money could help you take care of some business, you know, bills and expenses. You can never pay too much on your light bill. Go ahead and pay it up. I don't know. You know what your expenses are. Something that will save you in the long run. Utilize it. Just like Catherine said, go back and do a reconsideration if you got denied. And so, Sandrika, let's go to on the. I have a question in the chat. And I'll let you answer this. Someone wanted to know what was the age limit to claim a dependent?
16 and under for EIC. If they're 17, they're not eligible for EIC unless they're still in school. Usually they're seniors, so some of those people fell I go back to when we were talking about stimulus checks. They kind of fell in that gap and didn't get paid for stimulus. They won't receive a stimulus because it's still based on who gets EIC. So, 16 and under would be eligible for stimulus and earned income credit, to answer that question. I also wanted to piggyback on what Catherine said earlier about getting your documents in order for PPPs. And if you can prove that you were actually working in your business, but then you just got your business legitimized, you can also be eligible for funds. A lot of people were getting LLCs late 2020 based on trying to apply for funding. But the thing is, you can't apply for an LLC today and then expect to get funding tomorrow. That's not how it works. They want to be sure that the people that are getting funds that are allocated for these funds, they're particular business individuals that have been in business before the pandemic. They're the ones that we're trying to keep in business. The money is not for you to take the money and start a business. So I'm thinking that's why a lot of people are getting confused, that they're like, let's hurry up and get an LLC so you can be eligible for these funds. But that's not the case. It's only if you were already in business. So the things that you would need is a business bank account. Don't just get an LLC and an EIN number. You need a business bank account. You need to separate those personal and business funds from being together. You should never commingle your funds. I know, like we started off saying, we always come out hustling and then we work backwards. If you have the opportunity to, start off the right way. Get your EIN number, get registered with your state, keep up with your state registration, do your annual reports every year, make that little small investment, do your LLCs, do your business bank accounts, apply for business credit with your bank, apply for lines of credit, credit cards for your bank. They're there to help you, but you have to open your mouth and let them know that you're looking for these resources. Build a relationship with your bank. A lot of us don't go into the bank as much as we used to, but you should know your banker. Your banker should know you. They should be able to vouch for you or show that you've been in business, you've been doing these transactions, whether it was in your personal account and then you transitioned over to a business account. They should still know you. You should have that relationship with the bankers.
That's right. I would get into the habit of seeing the same person every time you go, even if you have to wait, if you can. That way they get to know who you are, at least, you know, even though it's supposed to be on application based, you want to have a relationship where you can go and say, hey, I've been coming here, this is what I have going on, but you have to build that relationship. And so it is very good, especially with a lot of virtual banking. I know that has been the case. Get a 1-800 number, get assigned to an agent. You need to link up to someone. And when it comes down to the SBA, link up with a local provider that does SBA loans. We do, I know Sandrika does, and I don't, Catherine, you can let us know, but I do the PPP and the EIDL application. And in that process, when you have someone that you can sit down with, or someone that you can actually pick up the phone and ask questions, because some of these questions could be a little tricky, but get the help that you need. And it's so good to build relationships and not just come in once a year, hey, here's my paperwork, and then you're gone. Keep in communication with us. All three of us are open year round, and a lot of tax professionals are as well. Let us know when you're getting ready to do business or some major thing. Find out what the tax implications are going to be. A lot of times we get into things and we don't consider what the tax fallout is. I know Catherine mentioned people that drew the unemployment through 2020 and did not withhold the taxes. I don't, so yes, that will be taxed, will be factored into your income for tax filing. You will be responsible for paying the taxes. I always tell people, every time you're withdrawing money out of a 401k, out of any type of funding, take the taxes out then. It'll sting a little less. Pay the taxes on the front end, because not only does that money that you receive add to your income, but that also increases your taxes. So if you've already paid some of the taxes in, it'll be much better for you when it comes time to file. And so our next topic we're going to discuss is refunds. Everybody wants to talk about the money. I have a lot of clients that don't get refunds because of their tax brackets or whatever. So they're like, I don't care about refunds. They don't even want to hear. They probably click off and come back in. But for those of us, the bulk of the Americans, we get refunds. So let's talk about the refunds. What advice are we giving our clients advice before they get all this money? I don't know which one of you ladies mentioned earlier, get a bank account. Can you please get a bank account? It's away with walking out of the 7-Eleven with a cash and a $7,000 check, giving them $300. And I'm not knocking anybody from doing that. I'm just trying to tell you, in these times, we don't have any extra money to give away. We need all our coins. You don't know what's coming around the corner. You can take that $300 that you would pay to cash your check, and you can invest that in starting your own business. You can pay for it and starting a retirement account. There's so much you can do with it. Come on, people, let's start changing our mindsets of what we're going to do with this money that we're going to be getting. So guys, what are your thoughts, and what are you telling your clients as far as we're about to start getting some refunds?
Refunds this year is very, very different, especially like Catherine said with the unemployment. I am seeing that people who paid the taxes and unemployment, you're getting back what you paid. But however, you don't get earned income credit for unemployment because it's unearned income. So refunds are a little bit different. It is gonna change your refund amount if you received unemployment. So if you receive 20,000 in unemployment and maybe 4,000 on your job for the few months that you were working without the pandemic, or if you received unemployment due to being self-employed, it's still going to affect your refund. So it is important to pay the taxes, like you, Candy, said, and Catherine as well. Pay your taxes on whatever government funds you are receiving, but it is going to affect your refund. No, you cannot not file your unemployment. I know there's a lot of questions that we've been getting. I didn't take taxes out. Can I just not file it, or can I file it next year? No. So I'm kind of redirecting and educating our clients on, yes, you have to file it. If you don't file it, it's $20,000. They're going to know that they paid you $20,000 from this state, right, and it's affecting your federal and state refunds. A lot of people are actually owing the state because they paid federal taxes, but they didn't pay any state taxes on. So it's a lot of different factors going into unemployment and how it's affecting refunds for 2020 tax season.
Yes, and so I'm gonna piggyback off of that. Let me tell you guys, I saw a little bit of it last year more than before. They probably had started doing it now. They'll actually say, hey, we got your taxes, this is fine, but we're gonna hold it until you amend it and add this unemployment, or we're gonna add it for you. So let me tell you, you don't want them adding it for you. Yes. They add it, they don't let you do your deductions and your write-off. So just go ahead, bite the bullet, get all your documents, put it on there. I do want to say this: if anyone, any business owner out there, if you have received there has been some unemployment fraud. So there have been some businesses that got the statement that, hey, so-and-so filed for unemployment on your business. And you're like, I never even heard of this person. So make sure as business owners, you're checking that, making sure that you get all the documents, open your mail, read it. Don't just assume it's a regular tax document. Open it and make sure that the person that filed the unemployment on your business, that they were actually someone that was associated with your company. Because we did have a few people that own businesses that someone filed unemployment on them. That's another form of fraud. So guys, make sure you get your ID theft protection, not just for you personally, but for your business as well. We have a couple of questions in the chat, and so I'll split them up. Let's go with Miss Catherine. This question is from Kataja. She says she wants to get a business bank account. Will they run her personal credit?
No, most times they will not, especially if you already have an EIN established. Most times it's just the bare minimum of $50 to $100 to open a business account. Just have those documents. Like I said, the EIN is really the only thing you need because it's registered. Once they pull that up and you have your business form, they will pretty much, most banks welcome you for business accounts. My local banks do. I'm not sure if it's something, online that you're trying to do. Most banks really welcome you with a business account.
And so
have you tried Fidelity, or do you, if I don't want to get personal, but if you owe any other banks, because banks usually check systems, they don't check your credit, but they do check to see if you owe any other banks. So that may be an issue, or you can get some kind of verification showing that you've paid the other bank, or the statute of limitations is up on it, or it's been written off, you don't owe them anymore, whatever the case may be. But usually I like to refer, especially women, I refer them to Fidelity Bank. They're really good. They have a power program designed for women in business. I don't know if you're local or not, but I know it's in Louisiana. That's a great bank for females.
And it's good that you pointed that. I'm sorry,
I need to join Fidelity. I was thinking of Shadrika. Yeah, I need Fidelity, girl.
Yes. And that's what I was going to say. Another thing you would want to do as a business owner, find even in personal, even if you don't own a business. I know this webcast is geared towards small business owners, but we're welcome to any and everyone joining in. A lot of this information you can apply it to your personal life. But one of the things I want to say, when you go to a bank, seek a bank that caters to your industry. Just like Sandrika just said, if you're a female business owner, you may want to consider Fidelity. If you own a truck driving company, research and find out what bank does the most lending to truck driving companies. So you want to, because some banks don't do certain business industries.
Right.
So find out what bank would suit you best, get that relationship going, open up that account. They typically do not check the personal credit, like Catherine said. You just got to have your paperwork in order. The next question, Sandrika, someone asked, what is the difference? Well, hold on, let me make sure I read it right. What is the advantage of an LLC versus being incorporated?
The advantages. Well, LLC basically protects you it separates you from the business. So it protects your business assets versus someone being able to sue you, for instance. If Candy told me the wrong information and she's not LLC, I can come back and say, well, you didn't give me the right information, I'm suing you, and she may not have LLC or errors and omissions or whatever it may be, and she'll get in trouble for that, and I can come after her house, whatever she has or whatever assets that she's showing off on Facebook or Instagram, and I can come for it. An incorporation is basically you're saying that this name or this business is incorporated instead of LLC, which is not registered with the state, is registered as a corporate business. Normally, people don't do incorporations unless they have employees, a certain amount of employees, I believe.
Right. So I'll piggyback off of that. Really good question. I'm glad she didn't put sole proprietor in there. Look, I am not a fan of sole proprietorship. So I kind of want to throw that in there. A sole proprietor is more like a paid hobby. It's more like saying, hey, I crochet on the weekend and I make a couple of dollars. But if you're really doing business and you're interacting with clients, you need to either be an LLC or incorporated. You want to have that protection. So that's another thing. I know Catherine mentioned earlier, just getting your paperwork in order. But look, guys, it's bigger than that. You don't want one error to take everything that you've earned. You got to remember, we're human. So at some point, you are bound to make an error or a mistake. Not saying that it's on purpose or intentional, but there are some people out here who are just, it is what it is. They're looking for opportunities to take advantage of a situation and could potentially sue you. So like I said, we're not trying to scare you guys. We just want to get you guys focusing on the right track, and we're here to help. Let me see. There's another question.
May I add something to that?
Yeah, sure. Please do. Please do.
Myself, I was LLC'd. I had several businesses. I actually had up to 6 businesses, and everything had an LLC. So recently, I had to add to my insurance, and the insurance agent actually advised me to become incorporated because under insurance purposes, I would have to pay a separate insurance per business. When you get into multiple businesses, you may want to incorporate everything and do a DBA for your businesses for insurance purposes. Also, tax purposes, I've noticed that when you're incorporated, the taxes are lower for an incorporation than an LLC. So it just kind of depends what level you are in business, whether you want to start with an LLC or if you have multiple businesses and you need to collaborate all of them. It's easier to do an incorporated than an LLC.
All right, thanks for the tip, lady. We are learning some stuff today. All right, we're going to take one more question before we go to our next segment because I want to kind of wrap us up about 12:15. I know you guys in the middle of the day is crunch time. The phone is like, I'm like, this is Wednesday. I'm going to ask the experts, why are you texting me? But no, seriously. I do have we're going to take one last question. And she says, if a joint business was started, do they file separate taxes or can they file with personal taxes on one of the schedules, like a Schedule C or on another? So I guess they're saying they got multiple businesses and they file it with their personal. So Sandrika, you want to answer that question for us?
Yeah, definitely. That's a question we get a lot about personal and business taxes. Do I file separately? Do I file together? Most people file their business and personal taxes together, being that they're LLC and they don't have any employees, or maybe they pay their children or their spouse for just helping out, not really on salary. Thank you. And you only separate business and personal taxes, or if you're speaking about a partnership, then y'all would separate the funding that you put in and the person put in, or the expenses that you put in and the other person put in as well. But most of the time it does go on a Schedule C. You can put multiple Schedule C's on one return.
All right, let's see. And partnerships. So let me just throw this in before we get to our next part. Partnerships is just what it is. It's separation. If the business it's like if you can imagine, it's a circle, and the business is in the circle. But out of that, you have one person has to claim all their expenses. You basically have to separate everything. So it's really good if you're in a partnership that both partners or multiple partners all go to the same meeting of tax filing, so that the numbers will all add up and all come out together. Because if I take 50 and you take 40, there's 10% somewhere left. So it's really good to have a meeting before the meeting, or to discuss it during the tax filing meeting, so that all the numbers could come out to 100%. So that's really, really important. I've seen where people have different partnerships and one person take one part and another person take another part. But at the end of the year, when the business is audited, the numbers don't match because they didn't claim the right amount. So in a partnership, make sure that you're watching your numbers. All right, so we're going to kind of shift talking from taxes. We may still bring up some things, but don't go anywhere. We're going to get to some business tips, some actual just general business for any type of business that you're in. And so we want to leave a few minutes for that. Have a quick announcement. I just want to encourage everybody, since we are celebrating Women Winning Wednesday, and these ladies are definitely winning. So we're going to I want to encourage everyone to visit our website, our foundation. Like I said earlier, we do have different programs, but one of the programs that's dear to my heart is the Women in Business. And there you can enroll. There's a website where you can enroll, where you can make a donation to the cause, where you can enroll as a member and take advantage of the perks. We do business development. We do training. Just like Catherine mentioned about Zoom, we're actually going to do a Zoom training this month on teaching you how to use Zoom, a Zoom on how to Zoom.
I'll be there.
And so you can sign up for that class. I already got one student already. Miss Catherine is going to be very first in line. But we're going to kind of go through some of the tips and how to have a productive Zoom meeting. And so that class is going to actually be free. And it's open to this class. Sorry, guys, will be for the women in business community. So definitely go to our website, check us out, see what all we have, and just kind of get up on it as far as supporting. So any guys out there, if you have a wife or a girlfriend that you want to sponsor, please do reach out to us and we'll tell you how to do that. All right. So let's talk about some of the business challenges and some of the wins along the way. I know a lot of times when clients come in and they have this business idea, hey, I want to sell honey to the bears. I just got this great idea. All right. So what is your marketing plan? Then you start asking, who's your target market? You start asking all these questions and they like, look, well, if I thought it was going to be all this, I wouldn't. Don't get discouraged. If it's something that you're passionate about, you will push through it. Take care of the business on the front end. We all know the story of people like Toni Braxton. She had, all that talent and she had to file bankruptcy because someone else was misappropriating her funds. Take the time out. It's only 10% talent. The other 90% is taking care of your business. Take care of it on the front end, and then you can just soar right away and do what you love. So, ladies, let's talk about it. What are some of your challenges? And how did you get past it? Pick, one or two items and let you guys have the floor. Catherine, we'll start with you. Whatever you want to share in that area.
Well, like I said, my first thing was to get organized and to become legit. But once you get to that point where, first of all, entrepreneurship is not for the weak. You gotta toughen up. You gotta get some tough skin, and you gotta own it. So you have to really get a different mindset that I am my business. Nobody is gonna carry my baby like I carry my baby. It's some work. It's day and night. It's early morning. It's late night. It's putting the kids to bed and let me go do this tax wise. Yeah, I know tax season is not for the weak. So you really have to have a mindset. Get your mind focused. Even when you hire employees, no one is going to work your business like you. So that dedication, that hard work, you may even not have a lot of funds, but it's your consistency that will grow your business. I personally also say that when I first started, I was not separating my business, my income to my expenses, and I was commingling. I'm just being honest. The money was good, just swipe, swipe, swipe. Like I said, I didn't have business accounts. I didn't have any of that. So at the end of the year, I was a mess. I just bowed off of what I thought I had. But definitely since I've owned my business, and it comes with maturity. You mature in business. So once you mature on a level where you're separating business and you're separating money and you're putting back, you'll be able to reap the benefits from your business. It may take years. Nothing happens overnight. I would definitely say be patient, but be consistent. These seminars, you'll be surprised how stuff like this helps you. It never hurts to learn just one thing in one of these seminars, because I learned a lot. Even Candy can tell you, years ago, I came to her struggling. I have blossomed, and sometimes you have a great vision, but you don't realize the work that you have to put into it, and there are steps to take. You can't just announce a business. Sometimes we announce it prematurely and don't know the steps, and then you get yourself in trouble. Know the business. It doesn't hurt to consult with someone. Never be too prideful to say, I just don't know. And that's pretty much it that I have to say. I've learned, even 15 years in the hair industry, I still learn from time to time. And I have other businesses that I've developed, but like I recently mentioned, I had a business that I prematurely announced, and I didn't realize how much more came up under insurance purposes. You have to cover yourself. in all areas. You have to separate the business. And when they talk about the LLC, you have to cover yourself because someone can come take all. People are out there deceitful. People will come in and just because you had the idea or you announced it before them, they will try to come in and jeopardize your name and take what they think you have on a personal level. So cover yourself and your business.
Right, that's so good, especially when you said what they think you have. They see the end result, but they don't see the late nights, the long nights, the conversation, the back and forth, the changing this and the changing that. And I tell you, it's not for the faint at heart. And so, Sandrika, what do you have to add to that? And I don't go to Webcast, and I got some more questions about being parents and doing business.
Definitely,
Sandrika,
definitely. They don't see the early mornings. They don't see the dedication. They don't see that you started 8-9 years ago when it was just you. They just see the growth in your business overnight, looks like on social media, basically. But it is hard work. Like Catherine said, it's not for the weak. It does take for some time, like for me, last year helped me to sit down and really work on my business versus always working in my business. I was really here. Last tax season, I didn't get a day off. I worked 9 to 8, sometimes past 8. I was walking out of the office at 10, 11 o'clock at night. But my business, it showed, it reflected. I was well paid. I was well known. I even got recognized as Best Woman in Financial Services 2021 for my hard work. So that's stuff like that. It doesn't come easy. So people think it comes easy, or seeing you on social media all day, or you scheduling your posts and recognizing people and helping people from the heart is not just for the money or just for your own gain or to gain more clients. It's for you to work on your business and build your business structure. You're building your brand, making sure your marketing is on point. I paid attention to my marketing. I used to just let my marketing person make my flyers. I never had any input on it. I just used to take whatever she made for me. So now she knows that I go back and say, I don't like this, change this, do this, add this, take this away, because I'm watching my business. And like Catherine said, it comes with maturity. It comes with growth from you personally and professionally. It comes from your employees. I let my employees have input. I give them, their roles are more than just an employee. They all feel like they're bosses. They all have their own input. They say, well, Drew, can we change this? We didn't like this last year, or this is not helping us to flow as good as we can, or as we know that we can flow. Let's take this form out. Let's add this form. Let's change this. Let's put our COVID procedures in place. Let's put some signage up. Let's make some videos. So everybody is in the swing of helping build this business. It's not just about me being in place or me being in the forefront. Because a lot of times I step back just so they can step up. That works as well. Don't just feel like it's all you by yourself. My personal struggles was delegating and letting go, because I always just felt like I'ma just do it. I don't want to ask nobody to do it. I'ma just do it. And it kept me up later and later. It had me getting up earlier and earlier when I could just say, hey, but I can count on people. I have people that I can count on. I don't even bring people into my business that I can't count on. And a lot of times I tell them, if you're not trying to outwork me, you're in the wrong place. That's one thing we pride ourselves on, educating people. Whatever the mission is, we're all on the same accord. So that kind of helps when you're building a brand. Like before I had employees, maybe 2 years ago, it was just me. So I was working for myself 6 years in a row just by myself. So it was kind of hard as I watched myself grow. Like I started off with a few clients, then I had maybe 20. Then the next year I maybe had 40. And then the year after that, I finally got a building. And I went up to like 100 clients just from walk-ins and people seeing that I'm in a building now. But fast forward, COVID happened. So I'm back at home. So all of the stuff that I put out, I had to retrack and say, well, it worked out at first. It worked out for 6 years, me being at home. And I have clients that I've never seen in person. I have clients that always are used to me sending their stuff emailed or virtually, or doing a Zoom meeting, or doing a FaceTime call while we do their taxes. And having short appointments or checking in with them throughout the year, making sure their W-4s are filled out right, and those different things. But those little aspects of your business, people remember. And that's what keeps them coming back. That's what keeps them referring other people to you. all of those things. So just keep in mind why you started, where you started, and where you want to go, and make a plan and stick to it, and don't let anything distract you from it.
All right, I love that when she said the word delegate. I was like, oh, that's a bad word for
Oh
us.
yes, that was my weakness.
Oh, we like, but if I give it to them and so what if they make a mistake? You just have protocols in place where you can come back, be ready to assist. You got to remember, we had to learn, and I tell you, delegate is like, it's like we can't find anybody because we're looking for us. We're looking for
Yes.
not somebody that's like us. We're looking for us, a whole nother us. And so as business owners, I think that would be one of the challenges that I encounter a lot when I counsel. I do a lot of, I do business counseling. And I tell people, having the conversations, is where we can actually question. It allows us to pull out something. Sometimes when I ask the question, as they answer their own question. And a lot of times, why don't you delegate? Do you have a business handbook? Do you have an employee handbook in place? Do you have your procedures written? Are you clearly communicating what it is that you want? And I think for me, that was one of my challenges. I'm like, well, you know how I operate, you know how I roll, just do what I would do. No, that's not, so now you're leaving it to people to assume. So writing it out, saying these are the procedures in place. When a person calls in and they have a problem, this is what we do. When someone asks for a refund, this is what we do. Or if someone orders a product or service, this is our shipping procedure. Having those things in place, and so documenting, get in a journal. And guys, business plans don't have to be fancy when it's just for you in house. Get a notebook, start documenting everything. Okay, hey, this is what I did. And you got to start thinking legacy-wise. As parents, we have to start thinking legacy-wise. I know my children are older than you all children, but my daughter is 25, my son is 20, 21. They were like, you know what? We're not doing taxes. I don't want anything to do with this business. I'm just and I embraced that. Look, I wanted them to do what they were passionate about. So my daughter's in fashion, my son is in sports. And so I said, do your thing, but they still would need to know, Lord forbid, if I checked out of here, well, I know we all got to go. So if I checked out of here, who's going to run the business? Are we just going to close? Or can they come in and see a book of policies and procedures where they can actually hire someone that I would approve of to run the business, to keep it afloat? Or are we going to do all this hard work? And if we go, it goes. And so we got to start thinking long-term legacy, start putting procedures and stuff on paper. So for me, I think that was one of my challenges, because it was like, I just got it. I'm rolling with it. Just catch up with me, catch on how you can. And that really just wasn't good practice as far as, like you said, you're going to do those long hours, don't get any rest, can't go on vacation. You just, because you're so involved in the business that you can't step away, because if you step away, you didn't have something else in place. And so one of the things I do want to mention is, if you haven't already, and I know you all have, but to our audience, if in your business, if you have a lawn service, or you're a stylist, or whatever your business is, do you have a form of residual income? Something, a platform, a business procedure that is already in place that making money while you sleep? I know a lot of times people hear that and they think it's just cliche, but no, you really want something else that'll piggyback off of when you're sleeping, something else that you don't have to put your hands on that make money for you for the time when it's slow. When things like pandemics hit, when it's, or just things of that nature. So you want to have something else. So those would be the two things that I would speak about: making sure that you have policies and procedures in writing so that you can delegate, and then also having something that's working for you, like some investment or some residual income, something else that you don't have to physically put your hands on. And so I want to mention, I'm going to bring this screen up really quick, bring our slide back up. Some of the businesses that these ladies have, I mean, they're being so modest, but they are doing the thing. Catherine has is it a bed and breakfast, or what do you call that place that I'm trying to get to?
Yes, we are in the process. That's one business that I had to backtrack. Well, COVID kind of set me back. And I did not realize, I'm just being transparent here, I did not realize so much responsibility that came with it when I mentioned the insurance wise. So now we are building, hopefully the bed and breakfast will start hopefully sometime this month, getting revisions made as far as paperwork wise, contracts wise. But yes, we have a beauty bed and breakfast, esthetician and
on hand, and we also have a massage therapist on hand. So not only when you book, you get to book your massage, your facials, your Brazilian wax, couples therapy, and then we also have a contracted caterer who, when you get ready to book, you'll be able to book your menu. So late night snacks, you come with a complimentary bottle of wine and rolls for your couples. It's just
I'm ready to book
something
I
different.
know, right?
Only me.
Look, when
Only
you
me,
get it,
but
look,
I do love
Catherine,
it.
when you relaunch
And
that
I'm
business,
just hoping it's
Catherine,
something
make sure,
different.
yeah, make sure when you get the green light, you get us all some flyers so we need to book after tax season. Me and Sandrika, we gonna need, like, hey, we're gonna need it. So yes, I love that. And that is so awesome. A bed and breakfast. I tell you guys, I prefer a bed and breakfast over a chain hotel any day. Support this young lady. She's gonna come back, and you guys stay in touch with me, and we're gonna make sure that we get that. So Catherine, tell us also now about the, give us the beauty tip really quick. I mean, she is phenomenal at this hair thing. Makeup. I'm like, I can't keep up. Give us a quick tip. Oh, you're muted. You muted. Catherine, you muted.
Oh, God.
Okay, there you go.
I'm sorry, I'm on speaker or something. For some reason, I can barely hear you, Candy.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you just fine.
Hair industry, I tell my stylist, I have been into it 15 years. You are a business. Realize you are a business owner. You still have to keep track, and you are more talented than you think you are, honey, because you are a bookkeeper. You're a secretary. You keep those appointments. You have to be in charge of a lot. So that would definitely teach you. As far as the LLC, that also covers you. Also, if something goes wrong with someone's hair, think about it. You have to think smart. A lot of times there's hair loss. You have to cover yourself now, especially with these installments. You want to be able to, if it's something you love and a passion, invest in yourself, invest in the LLC, invest in your best products. And it works for you. You become known by your reputation. Take pride in your business. Take pride in your work. Just because you're rushing, take pride in every client. And that's what has built my clientele for so many years. And the loyalty will start. You have some clients that dip in and out of your chair, but loyalty is loyalty pays the bills. That's what I tell them. So I myself, I must say that there's so much talent out here now. I'm old school. I'm like, these girls coming up with it. I'm young, but these girls coming up with it. So I will announce that this year may be my very last year to even do hair. I'm passing the torch. That's my thing. Yeah. So I am looking for 2 girls to intern. I want to be able to do an apprenticeship this year. 2 girls to teach and what I know and to take care of my clients when I get ready to come out of the business. So if you know of anyone, if you know any young girls who are truly passionate, who are teachable,
Lord, that's that word.
Please send them on. I'm willing to educate them. I also have educational courses coming up this year for whatever I specialize in here, from business to hair to the PPPs to taxes. Passing the torch. That's the name of my educational courses this year. So please come see us.
All right. So we have, I have one of my dear friends, one of my business partners. She's going to come on really quick. I don't know if she has a question or a comment. Dr. Bishop, we can hear you now.
Good morning. Good afternoon, ladies. I am just blown away. Listen, I am 62. I'm trying to retire. You young ladies are making me want to go back to work. But the problem is I don't like paperwork. That's why I'm not incorporated. I am trying so hard to find somebody to take over my business before I incorporate. So I've been talking to my niece. Really, I want nothing to do with work. I am medically retired. I have all kinds of stuff going on with me. And you guys are right. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of work. I work when I feel like I work when I want to. When I don't want to, I don't. And so that's why I go with the residual income route. Now, I'm just telling you like it is. I am not willing to work as hard as you girls are working. I promise you I'm not. But I want to find somebody to link you guys up with so that they can learn. So I'm looking at my niece and they say, hey, D. I said, look, God has favored me with money, money follow me. I'm gonna be a multi-millionaire, no doubt in my mind. But not for me. It's for kingdom building. I'm not interested in money. I don't want to do anything. I'm just telling y'all that. But I didn't come on to say all of that. I came on to ask about the spa. But you have retired. Retired. Miss Kenny gonna make me go back to work. Miss Kenny, if you make me go back to work, then you gonna run the business, okay?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Dr. Bishop, I thank you for your encouragement. Look, y'all, I wanna be able to say that I'm retired and I work when I want to work. Don't that sound like just pure heaven, here on earth? I'm thriving to it. And so that is one of the things that we're talking about. So I thank our ladies. Look, I have a quick announcement and a question. And I'm going to answer your question, Leah. She asked where we're located. Toward the end, we are going to put our contact information up, how you guys can get in touch with us and everything. So next week at 7:30 p.m. on next Tuesday, we're going to have a master class. If you go on our website, you'll see one of our master classes. There's no cost. Miss Leah Hall, she's from Florida, but she's going to come on and she's going to do one of our master classes virtually on Zoom. You can go to our website and register. It's no cost, but you will need to be registered in order to get the information. She's going to talk to us about financial literacy, how money works. She's going to talk about the power of compound interest, the rule of 72, the time value of money. So if you're not familiar with all this is, you definitely want to tune in. She is going to talk to us about investment. Look, guys, get the information, get the education. It's free. So this is a no excuse. We're eliminating all the excuses. If you want to know how to do something, if you're considering, there's been a lot of talk about investing in stocks. We're glad that people are now listening and interested. So get the education before you dump a lot of money into something. Come on next Tuesday at 7:30. Miss Leah is going to be with us. And she's going to educate us well. So that'll be next Tuesday at 7:30. So we're going to get some closing remarks from our ladies. And then once we get the closing remarks, they can tell us where they are with any announcements they have. So we'll allow each of them a minute or two to close and give us their final remarks. And then we'll go into do their advertisement slide. And then that'll conclude it for today. So we'll start with you, Miss Catherine. We're going to give you guys a minute or two apiece to tell us about, any closing remarks, any announcement, whatever you want to announce with us.
I really need to be in that Zoom class, I promise. I just would like to say that we have recently incorporated all businesses that's from KT Tax Service, Classy Chic Hair Salon, Obsessions Clothing Boutique, H&H Kids Closet, K Nicole's Beauty Bed and Breakfast here. We have a few more announcements coming up. I know I'm crazy for all these businesses, but this is my passion. We are here located at 802 West Railroad Avenue here in Summer, Mississippi. Currently working on websites and advertisement because we're new here in the area, but please come visit us. And to all the business owners and ladies in business, period, I say congratulations for having the courage to even start a business. Now it's up to you to run with that torch, and you'll be surprised if Beyonce, like they say, if Beyonce has 24 hours in a day, you have that same 24 hours in your day to make it happen. Make it happen for you. This is your baby. I'm spiritual, but when God births a purpose in you, that's your purpose. Don't worry about who's in business, who's running out of business, what they say, that's your business. Pray to God for our wisdom, acknowledgement, and he will direct your path. The blessings and favor of God, just pray for it, honey. Sometimes it gets discouraged. And sometimes I even say to myself, why didn't I just choose a 9 to 5? Why didn't I become average? But when you have a true passion, it'll make or break you. And sometimes when you're at your lowest, God is up to something. He will bless you, and you'll be surprised how it ignites what you have in you, the hustle in you. I know it starts from the hustle, but it starts with a hustle and a vision, and you'll grow. So stay blessed.
All right. Miss Andrika, any announcements? Anything you want to let us know?
Sure. Okay. So I first want to thank you for inviting me. I did learn a lot. I got some notes here in one of my many notebooks. So thank y'all for all of the information. I do have some announcements. We are working on a huge king cake giveaway for the community at our bakery. Our bakery is called Vegetable Worlds. It's located at 7301 Dowman Road on the corner of Dowman and Morrison in New Orleans. We do ship king cakes for those of you that are out of town. Also for tax season, we're open. We have virtual office hours for 24 hours a day. We have in-person office hours, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily. We are here. If I'm not here, my staff is well educated and they're all certified in all states. They can do business and personal tax prep. We're also helping business owners access capital via the PPP loan or the EIDL loan. You must have your documents in order to apply because we do have to upload the documents. We cannot create documents for you. You have to have your documents in order. We can help you, however, discover where these documents can come from, but we cannot create any documents for you. You have to have everything in order at first, but we can help you get organized. We did make a joke about the shoebox earlier, and I kind of showed that I have some shoebox clients that haven't converted to, I'll type it in. I have some clients that still bring in a bunch of receipts, and it's no problem. We convert it over for them. We do have a Schedule C reconstruct form that we can put all of their income and expenses on. So we help you with that. Don't be afraid if you are the shoebox client. We can still help you. We have a mobile app. You can download and upload your stuff, or you can schedule an appointment. You can see where we're at on a map. The tax office is located at 7313 Dowman Road as well in New Orleans. We do have some off-site locations in Houston, Dallas, Philadelphia, Atlanta, and Miami right now. So we have a lot going on over here. And I do want to tell you, I just want to leave you with a little quote that I came up with the other day. So I just feel like potential plus perseverance equals purpose. I get that from when I was young. A lot of people always used to say, oh, you have potential, you have potential, you have potential. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean? It didn't mean anything to me until I actually persevered through some stuff and I really prove my own potential to the highest. And I'm walking in my purpose at this moment. So that's why I came up with that quote. I write a lot, I read a lot, I research my industry, in every industry that I'm in. I also help with business services. That's another partnership I have with my friend Ashley. It's called Boss Box. That location is on Lake Forest Boulevard. We're developing a training center to help business owners get into QuickBooks, learn how to, if they want to do real estate investments, learn how to complete LLCs in any state, learn how to get their EIN number because it is free. And a lot of people don't even know that it's free. They're paying different services. They're going online and they're searching and this stuff is free. It's available to them. So I just want to be a community liaison and I'm showing that through my work. I'm going to type everything in, my addresses and how you can reach me. Thank y'all.
All right, thank you. Thank you. I want to say thank you to these ladies for blessing us. And they're into multiple businesses, but I'm sure that if it's anything that you're trying to start, just bounce some ideas off of them. Give them a call. Let me tell you, asking questions. When people ask us questions, ask me questions, it helps me because it gives me an opportunity to share. And the more that you share, the more that you learn. And Catherine mentioned earlier, she said that other magic word, besides delegate, she said teachable, coachable. Quit trying to do it alone, y'all. There's a community of people out here. Sandrika has persevered through some things. Catherine can give us some real life examples. Don't do it alone. You're in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. And so I just want to give you guys a few quick announcements. Mostly everything that I have to tell you about is on our website. So go to our website, martinbusinesssolution.com. Go and check out the master classes. We have, we're going to be adding classes continuously. I'm going to actually reach out to Sandrika and Catherine. They don't know it, but they're going to know it now. I'm going to reach out to them to teach one of the master classes. They can pick a topic of their choice. We host it, we do everything for it, we advertise for them, and they come on and they teach the class, let us learn some things. A lot of times we don't know because we don't know. And like the Bible says, we perish because of a lack of knowledge. And so if we want to thrive and we want to do better, there's so much research out here. But then when you go on the internet, it's information overload. So what Martin Business has done, we have ciphered through and we have put it all in one place where you don't have to worry, is this a scam? Is this legit? Is this something I can do? Who do I call? And so we basically have become a hub, a resource center for business owners. I am excited about this tax season. This is going to be interesting. I'm sure we're gonna get through it. I believe that 2020 has taught us some valuable lessons. So now for 2021, the word that the Lord gave me for 2021 was apply. And initially, I thought he just meant apply everything that I learned in 2020. So that's part of it. But the other part that he gave me was apply, like actually apply for things. Apply yourself. There are some things out here that are available to us as business owners that we don't take advantage of because we don't apply. Apply. And in the process of applying, and everything doesn't have to be monetary. Apply your time, build some relationship. Apply yourself, put in some effort, learn what you need to know. There are some things I need to learn. I'm trying to get with the Instagram world. I'm a Facebook person. I guess my daughter says all the old people are on Facebook, whatever. But I'm coming for you, Instagram. So don't worry, I'm coming. So learn what you need to learn. Apply yourself. We're gonna have a social media class coming up pretty soon. I'm gonna be the first one in that class. I'm not teaching it, but I'm gonna be the first student in there. So if you need to learn about social media, tax season is on the way. And like I said, just follow us, go to our YouTube channel, like and subscribe. Our last announcement before we get out of here, I want to redirect everyone to our foundation website. This webcast is sponsored by the AK Legacy Foundation, where we bring information to our communities to help improve the quality of life. Go and find out how you can get connected, how you can make a contribution, find out about some of our upcoming events. We have things for men and women alike, but I do want to ask, since this is Winning Women Wednesday, all of our ladies, go to our website and click on Women in Business. Read about it. See what we're doing. Just because you're joining doesn't mean that I'm going to give you a task of things to do. We have a great board of directors, and we have a great team of volunteers that do the bulk of the work, which is asking you to get involved, to get connected, to build relationships across this country. We have ladies that are in California, New York, Florida, Texas, Tennessee. So just get connected. You never know where a relationship could lead you. One of the very things you've been praying about and working toward could be right at your fingertips. So go to our website, check us out, leave us a comment. Don't forget to share the YouTube link and let people know. Join us back here on March the 3rd. Every first Wednesday, Ask the Experts, we will come to you with another great webcast. I want to thank our panelists, Catherine and Sandrika. I truly, truly, truly appreciate you ladies. We've met in different circumstances, but I believe we're now united in this arena. And so I'm looking forward to all these great ventures. I'm like Dr. Bishop, y'all making me want to go back to the drawing board. I thought I was doing too much. I see now I'm all right. I'm a little rusty, but hey, I love it. You guys are so inspirational. And I'm so thankful that you took time out of your busy day to come on here and to share with us and to help the AK Legacy Foundation. It means so much to me. So with that being said, this concludes our show for today. I want to congratulate these ladies on their adventures in this great 2021. I am looking forward to all the things. Get connected. Follow them on their social media. Follow them, ladies. Go to their website, get connected, and just be blessed. You all have a great day. Thank you.